Hey everyone, today's lesson is on reflecting points, how to reflect a point. And it means that we have this kind of mirror happening where we flip something across an image. So let's take a look at some of the Khan Academy lessons. And our first problem looks like this. Let's read this. It says, plot the image of point Q, the image of point Q. So I've got point Q here under a reflection across the x-axis, And so what we find is when we say across the x-axis, we say that's our mirror, and when we say reflect, we're talking about flipping it, reflection, flip, like this, across the x-axis where our mirror is. And so the x-axis being here, we have this type of mirror that's set up right here on the x-axis. So you got to think, if this was, you were here looking into the mirror, where would you see yourself on the other side of the mirror? And this is what it's asking us to do, to reflect across the x-axis. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to go the same distance to the mirror. Will always be the exact same distance to the other side. So if I look at this point Q and I see how far away am I from it, well, it says right here 4, but I could count also 1, 2, 3, 4 steps away. I know that I'll be the exact same number of steps when I flip this to the other side. It'll be the same number of steps to the other side. And so I find that the new image is going to be here at the -4. And that's going to be called Q prime. We always use that word prime to indicate the new image. This was the original, and the new image over here, and we're going to call it Q prime. And let's see. So in this one, all they're having you do is drag that dot to its new place. So let's move this all aside, and let's go ahead and what would you do in the Khan Academy lesson? You would, let's scoot this all off to the side here. You're going to take this dot and you'll click on here and it'll allow you to move it, and you're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm at the mirror now, and I'll do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's my new image, and it's called Q prime. Q prime. All right, let's take a look at the next problem. So this time in Khan Academy, they don't actually give you this coordinate plane, which is it's really helpful to see it to understand what's going on. But all they give you is this right here. They're saying I have some point P. I've got some point P, and it's at 3, 5. And I'm going to go through a reflection or a flip, right? Reflection means to flip across the y-axis. So I'm going to pull in this coordinate plane to help us understand really what's going on, but we can do it without having this coordinate plane. So anyway, here's the mirror, reflect across the y-axis. Here's the y-axis. Our point P is at 3, 5. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3, and then y-axis 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so here's 3, 5, and that's where point P is. Well, so now the question is, where is point P prime? Where will that land up being? And we're reflecting, we're flipping across this mirror right here. That's where we're flipping, is across that mirror. And so I'm just going to take this thing and I'll count it in. 1, 2, well, actually you'll be able to drag it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that would be the new spot, or P prime is how we would call it. And those coordinates there would be -3, 5. And so your answer would be -3, 5. I want you to notice something real quick before I finish this. Notice here that the original is 3, 5, and the new one is -3, 5. What changed between these two? Well, we can see the only change is that this is negative. It used to be positive, and now it's negative. And the y didn't change. And it makes sense because, look here, this didn't go higher or lower, so this height of a 5 didn't change. All that it did is went from a +3 to a -3 as it went through that flip. All right, try the next two on your own. This is basically the introduction lesson to reflection. All right, thank you.